Hey guys, it is time for another sketchbook tour. So, let's get into it. Ooh, spoilers. There we go. Alright, here's the first page. You saw a teaser of this guy at the end of the last video. I used my favorite new pencil on him. Let's see if I can, there we go. From Faber-Castell, it's the 8B. And, hold on, there we go. It's a water-based varnish, so you can actually use watercolor or whatever else that's a wet media with this pencil, and it allows it. And I actually have an example coming up where I used it with Winsor & Newton drawing inks, and it turned out just fine. But I super love it. I feel like I can get really natural, like, fluid movements with it. My hand just sort of, I don't know, it just moves more smoothly. It's a nice feeling pencil, so drew this bad boy with him, and this was the first time I messed around with the pencil, so fancy boy, and I like how it turned out. This is just a quick sketch because I had to do a chibi for commission. And then I was practicing some hands off Pinterest. I smudged some paint. This is just Posca's in the background. It was funny because after I did this, like a few days later, I was watching a sketchbook tour on YouTube, and a different artist had drawn this exact same hand, and it just super amused me because I'm just like, yeah, I feel ya. We go to the exact same place apparently for our references. And then I filled in the rest of the page with some Poscas. Sorry, I have 4 cats, so there's going to be cat hair everywhere. It was my first time like really messing around with the metallics, just for the details, and I really liked the effect of just layering just some sort of accents on top of the rest of the matte paint. So, yeah, just me doodling. And spelling donut that way because it bothers Kristen, because she just does the D-O N-U-T, and yeah, we've gotten into it before. Not like arguing, but I was just like, but this is the real way, this is the right way you say it, like the classic way, and she's like, no one spells it that way! So of course, I'm just gonna spell it that way, like, literally every chance I get. Alright, next page. I'm sure, Netflix fans, or just Stranger Things fans, I guess, will recognize what I was watching when I started this page. So, it was Stranger Things. Did the Scoops Ahoy logo, because I really liked the font and color and everything. And I did some rats, because there were rats everywhere. I'm not going to say anything else, because I'm not going to give any spoilers. I doodled her, because I got the Color Ace pencils for the first time, and I used, what color did I use? Oh yeah, Carmina Red, so the obvious one. I really liked how she turned out though, even though she was a really quick sketch. I enjoyed it. And then this is just more Posca pens. I was messing around with the metallics again, so I made some strawberries, and I made their little leafy tufts look like crowns. Very anatomically incorrect sketch of a couple. It was just sort of, I do this thing where if it's like 3 or 4 a.m. and I'm trying to sleep and failing, and I think of a picture I want to draw, I have to like scribble it down real quick, just so I don't forget to do it, I guess, like the next day, or just whenever I get back to it. So this is one of those where I wanted to draw a general pose like this, and I was half awake and just really quickly scribbled it down so I didn't forget. These are me failing to draw chonky ladies, because my brain just like can't grasp anatomy of chonky girls, which you think it would, because I myself am chonky girls, and it's just none of it makes sense to me. I mean, I guess this one didn't turn out too bad. Again, this was just quick. I was doing concept poses for a commission I had to do. Well, I'm currently working on it still, but, so I wasn't really worried about, like, getting things anatomically correct, but I just was trying to get a general idea. And as you can see, I have a bad habit of drawing with my sketchbook slanted, and then when I straighten it, I realize that, like, the body's just at a weird angle. Does anyone else do that? Because I have a really bad habit of doing it all the time. Alright, last page in this sketchbook is probably my favorite page, because Conti from FLCL, and I love him so much. I have been wanting to watch it again lately, and so I decided to draw him because he's my favorite character. These are all just images like you can find on Google, just like of the character that already exist. I just was redrawing them for practice drawing inanimate objects, and yeah, for fun. So I can't take credit for creating the images, but I did redraw them. And then got the logo. That's also from FLCL. Up here, this was a pose concept for a commission I'm doing. This was just me. I'm trying to make myself draw bodies without references more. And this was just me doing that. And I'm actually really happy with how it turned out for not using any references. I was pretty proud of myself for that one. These are because I was brainstorming because I would like to do a Skyrim sticker pack. I am a huge Skyrim fan. I play Skyrim so much. So much. And yeah, I thought it was about time I make a Skyrim pack. They're probably going to be, I mean, they're obviously going to be the colors that the objects are, but they're going to be probably like slightly pastel with sparkles and stuff like that, because I want them to stand apart, and I want there to be, well, there to be a point in me making them instead of me just buying Skyrim stickers. So I'm gonna make them a little more my aesthetic. So they're gonna be slightly pastel-y, got some sparkles in there. I'm not doing all of these images. I'm doing the sweets for sure, doing the Grand Soul Gem for sure. I'm gonna do one of the Dragon Priest masks. I don't know specifically what mask I'm doing. And then I'll probably do the Oblivion/Conjuration symbol, but I'm not sure yet. And I don't know if that's it, or if I'll do any more. I obviously had a couple, like, I was messing around with some Brotherhood ideas, but I don't know. They're kind of boring. Not the Brotherhood themselves, but the designs, so we'll see. And then last on this page is just sort of a gesture, quick sketch for a character I'm creating digitally, which you are going to see at the end of this video. So, switching sketchbooks. This is my new sketchbook, and I love it so much. Yes, I got another new sketchbook, but this one's different. This one is for painting, so this is what type it is, if anyone wants to look it up or anything like that. It's actually so far been really good, so I definitely love this. It was kind of pricey for how thin it is, but I think it's worth the price because of the quality. Here's me swatching those Winsor & Newton. Sorry if I'm talking way too fast. I literally didn't sleep last night, so I'm running on no sleep at all. So I'm getting those, like, exhaustion crazy. But this is me swatching the Winsor & Newton drawing inks so that I could see how it worked on this paper before using them, and because I've never really used them. And then I also got Winsor & Newton acrylics, and I was swatching them to see how they worked. So, first page. This little cutie, sorry, my cat just jumped in the window, so it might get kind of dim for a second. One of my many cats. Okay, Mom's Little Slayer here, this cutie. I did this with the Winsor & Newton drawing inks over here that I swatched. It was my first attempt using them, and I also don't like watercolor or anything, so it was really like my first attempt using a very liquidy media. And it definitely got like muddy in places, like on the clothes, like I didn't really know what I was doing and stuff, and I didn't wait for it to dry too well, like before layering or anything like that. But other than that, I mean, I like the drawing, like I think he's a cutie, and I used that like waterproof pencil or whatever you'd consider it, to do it, to test to see how the ink did, and it was really good at not smearing the graphite or anything like that, or getting like gray in the colors. And then I went over a little details with some Prismacolor pencils. So that's just a little random cutie for me to test out that media. Here I just tested Poscas real quick. I assumed it would be fine because they're a paint marker and it's a paint like sketchbook, and they were, so that was nice. Here's where I covered up a watercolor attempt. It got real muddy real fast. Again, I'm new to the media, and I didn't like it. And if I'm not 100% happy with something, I usually will just leave it. But if something, like, turned out so bad that, like, it stresses me out to, like, see it, especially on the very first page of my sketchbook, then I'll just cover it up. So I did. And then here was really fast. This was me just testing the Winsor & Newton acrylics for the first time, because I'd never used them, and I haven't used acrylics since high school, which was like 12 years ago I graduated, because I'm old. And I wanted to see how acrylics themselves worked in this sketchbook. And they turned out really nice, and I got that amazing line. Oh god, it's so good. I love when you just like, I use washi tape, and when you just peel the washi tape away, and it's like, perfect. God, it's one of the best things. And then last for the sketchbooks, I painted this. This was also with the Winsor & Newton acrylics. Sorry if these like painting ones are boring to you guys. I know it's not like my usual stuff, but I like to mess around with all different medias and different styles, so I did this. It wasn't like a planned out piece. I actually like just figured out what I was doing right before painting it. It was just to test more thoroughly, like layering acrylics and mixing with water, and really just going at this sketchbook with paint. And to just warm up a bit with acrylics again, because like I said, it's been like 12 years since I used them. So it's by no means like a finished piece, and there's definitely there's issues with it, and just, you know, lots of just random lines and unfinished areas and everything. But the paper held up great. I really like the paint itself, like the quality, and I like the finish you get from it. It's like almost matte, but it's got a little sheen to it. I really like that. My only, like, dilemma was that it just dries so fast, and it's been so long since I painted that it was difficult. But, yeah. So you got some little creepers here in the shadows, you know, like there are in reality. And the little giant here in the valley. And yeah. And now I have another cat on me, so that's it for the sketchbooks. And the very last thing, I will show that digital drawing I said I was working on that you saw the sketch for. Whoops. Once I get into my iPad. There we go. So here it is. You can see I took a picture of the sketch. I do that often. I'll take a picture of the sketch and blow it up, and I'll just draw over it and fix things as I go. So, yeah, I only have her upper part so far finished. So, you can see she's got... I wanted to make it sort of like bone matter that was like her horns, just floating around her all the time, sort of like a gravitational pull of just this bone matter, and she can control them as she pleases, but they're always there, floating about. And I'm happy with how her face is turning out and how the horns are turning out and everything. So, hopefully I don't screw it up. And that's just she's what I call a Velis, is the species, and it's just a sort of alien I created, I guess. So I like to make characters in the species, and I usually just sell the characters. Because I'm in... wow, sorry. Very loud cars. I'm in a couple art groups on Facebook, and I sell characters on there and everything, so yeah. That's what I'm making her for, but I'm enjoying her so far. And that's all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions about the materials I used or anything, let me know. This is being drawn in Clip Studio paint, by the way. And yeah, have a nice 1 to 2 weeks before I see you guys again.